with information about the perks programs. So here we go. John's going to take over.
All right, so I had to swallow there. People are seeking our products, and for why? You know, if you look at these numbers here, these numbers are actually larger than the actual numbers are larger than what they show on the screen here. Health and wellness industry shows a $4.2 trillion industry. Those numbers come from a couple of years back. Of course, that industry keeps growing and that space keeps growing. And I know when Vic and I looked at this, we thought this is the space we want to be in. We want to be in a large space that's growing. It's going to continue to grow. If you think about it, people in the future aren't going to not want to invest in their health and wellness. And the other thing you see here, it says 45% of US workers with a side gig. That number came out before we had what we just went through in 2020. So now, if you think about it, there's so many people that have a side gig, or if they don't, they want one because of what we just went through. They realize, hey, I can work from home and I love working from home. So, there's a lot on the screen, but I just want to kind of draw your attention to the left side. Jeff Olsen, he's our founder and CEO. The guy's a genius. He's just incredible what he does and what he puts together. And we're just so happy to be a big part of that. When we first started and we joined Neora, we didn't know who Jeff Olsen was. And had we known, we would have been really excited to get started. But we've learned more about him as we built our business, and we realized that we are in the right place, and we're in the right place at the right time. He authored a book called The Slight Edge. He wrote that book years and years ago, long before Neora. And it's just a book about philosophy, about how you should live your life. And if you follow that philosophy, you'll be successful. Vic was talking about our son who's a weightlifter. He's an Olympic weightlifter. And he was the 2018 US national champion. And he says that it's the slight edge principles that's got him there. It's doing those little things day after day after day that don't seem like they matter, but they do. Yeah. So that's a big part of it. And then I just wanted to talk about how we give back. Neora's giving back over $5 million to charitable organizations. And they didn't do that once they got successful. They didn't do that once they reached, they've reached out and they've expanded into all these other countries globally. They did that from day one. They were always giving back to charity. And I know Vic and I both love that. Inc. 500, there's an Inc. 500 list. It's similar to the Forbes list. Inc. magazine tracks privately held companies in the US, where Forbes is publicly traded companies. And so the Inc. list is all the publicly or privately held companies. We made that list when we were eligible to make the list, which is after 3 years of business, because they want to track you for 3 years. We made that list. We ranked number one. That's incredible.
That's huge.
And then we spoke a little bit earlier about China. China is huge. It's bigger than I think a lot of people realize, because it's such a huge consumer power that they buy so many consumer products. And if we can just tap into that, again, like we're talking about being in a big space, a big growing space, that's where we want to be. So if you think about China here, we've got, they use a platform called WeChat, and it's similar to like our Facebook, just like Facebook on steroids. WeChat has a bigger reach than Facebook. People in China have been using WeChat for many, many years. They do everything on WeChat. They do all their shopping, all their communications, everything is done through that WeChat platform. So if you look here, it says 1.2 billion. So do you realize 1.2 billion? If you took every man, woman, and child in the United States of America, our total population, and multiplied it by 3.5, it's still less than 1.2 billion, which are the monthly active users on WeChat. Not just people who have signed up for WeChat, but these are active users month after month after month that are on that platform. So we have basically our shopping cart, if you will, is on WeChat. It's called WeShop. It's on WeChat. So we're reaching that 1.2 billion. So that's why it's so important. If you know anyone who either lives in mainland China or is of Chinese descent, or even if they know someone who's Chinese, you want to reach out to them and talk to them, because if you can share it with them, and Neora is going to pay you a referral commission just to share it, because Neora wants to make a big launch and wants to make this very, very successful in China.
And it'll help them too. Yeah,
because they can make money, and when they make money, they get paid. All their finances go through the WeChat platform too. They get paid on the WeChat platform. So I wish we had something like that here. It'd be so much simpler. You know, business has evolved. We've gotten away from brick and mortar and we've gone online. We've gone to e-commerce, just maybe not to the extent that the Chinese have, but we have too. Everyone everywhere in the world has gone to an e-commerce platform.
So we're just tapping into it. Yeah.
And then you can start your business for as little as $20 US. The Canadian dollars are in there too, 27 Canadian. It's
Australian.
simple. It's basically a turnkey business in a box. Where can you think about it? Where else can you go and start a global, a truly international business for 20 bucks?
Yeah.
It blows my mind. And then you can earn several different rewards along the way. It's not just, you know, we make decent money. It's not about just the money. It's about everything else. Look at all the fun people are having in that picture right there. I know we're in a couple of them somewhere. That bottom right picture, I'm sure you guys can pick us out. Maybe that should be the quiz in the bottom right. Where are we in that giant group of people? But they send us on these incentive trips to these beautiful 5-star resorts. Neora pays for everything. There's a luxury car bonus. It's different car brands in different countries. I know in the US it's a Lexus. In Mexico it's Lexus or Audi. So it depends on where you're at with their agreement with the different cars, but it's a luxury car. Neora pays for that for us. There's so many different bonuses. There's so many reasons to get started.
Oh. Sorry. And there are just so many people. That was why I threw
Okay.
that slide in.
I haven't seen this.
I'm just so excited about all the people.
So you can either become a brand partner or become a preferred customer, or if you think we're all crazy and nuts, then I guess that would be plan C, just see you later kind of a thing. But if you want to become a brand partner, we can help you do what we do. And if you want to just be a customer, try the products. They all come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. There's a lot of incentives to trying the products, and what you'll see is what's the worst thing that can happen? You're going to look better, feel better, and actually be healthier.
Yeah. Yeah, so we will stop the share there and just probably stop the recording. Then we'll do the drawing for the winners. But thank you all for popping on. If you have questions, reach out to your brand partner that invited you on here and get your questions answered. It's truly changed our lives. And I know a lot of people on this Zoom are Lexus earners themselves. You guys, this has been life-changing income. Many of them had multiple jobs that were lost during the crazy. Yeah, I see. I should actually show everybody. You know, raise your hand if Neora has helped you, you know, during this crazy time. Yeah, and I know. Yeah, you've lost a job here or there, multiple jobs. Yeah, thanks, Jen.
And the other thing too is, even if you haven't personally, you know people who have.
Yeah.
Right. You know someone who has. So wouldn't it be nice to help them, to share this with them? This might be that lifeline that they need, that they're praying for.
Yeah, exactly. So hang in there. Don't leave, you guys. We're just going to stop the recording so everybody can share it.